Hello, hello, welcome back. It's me, Xpsupernova, and today, that's right, we're playing the Java edition of Minecraft today. I know, you guys normally don't see that kind of thing. But today, we're going to be playing some experimental survival, honestly. I'm planning on making this a little bit of a mini-series for you guys, just for fun, because it seemed like something interesting that not many people already do. Most people just play in the modern versions, but yeah. And if you're wondering why I actually am playing in the Java instead of Bedrock, which I usually play on Bedrock, it's because Java usually has the snapshots more fleshed out than the previews on Bedrock Edition. So with that all done and out of the way, let's create our world. And for the experiments we're turning on, we're going to be turning on both bundles and update 1.21. I don't really care too much about the villager trade rebalance. We're probably not going to be working much with villagers anyways. And if I'm being honest, until they make diamonds a little bit easier to get, it's really not really worthwhile to do that. I kind of like some of the changes, honestly. I don't really like the armor changes too much, but they really do need to balance villagers at some point. They definitely are very powerful. And for the seed, the seed should be Pizza Tower, there we go. Because that's what a lot of people watch on my tower. Not my tower, my channel anyways, but yeah. Alright, let's start this. Let's create this beautiful world. It's just a normal survival world, no cheats at all. I'm gonna let the world load for a second. As you can see, it's very laggy. But it's actually loading fairly well. I guess it's just the more you run this program, the better it works, I guess. It looks like we spawn in a forest surrounded by like other forests, so yeah. Also, yo, a mountain biome right by spawn. That's actually huge because we can get tons of iron at the beginning. So yeah, let's get started, I suppose, by doing something that everybody already does, and that's called chopping down a tree. I also don't like recipes, but that's probably because, like, well, actually I have some detailed reasoning behind this, actually. I don't hate them, mind you, I just don't like it compared to Bedrock system. Where, like, in Bedrock, you can use anything you can craft, and you can, like, look and see, hey, this is a mysterious material, how do I get that? So it kind of gives you, like, some intrigue on what you have to do to get certain materials and stuff like that. That's my kind of logic. It's not a big piece of reasoning, but it is that. It's like, you can go look for the resources to craft things. But it's not a bad system, don't mind. Like, it's actually pretty good. But, like, I feel like they could rework it a little bit better. But it's not terrible. I wouldn't hate if it was added too much. But yeah, I guess that's just some of my thoughts. I can give my thoughts on Java Edition and Bedrock, the parity differences, all that fun stuff. Also, I crafted 3 crafting tables instead of 2. I meant to craft 2 because if I have 2 in my inventory, I won't actually be able to have to drop stuff from my inventory just to pick up another one. There's just that. There's a lot of parity differences, though, trust me on that one. I don't think anything's necessarily worse than the other. It's just a matter of preference, honestly, if I'm being totally honest. And also, yeah, let's get that stone. There's not going to be a lot of iron here, because, if I'm being honest, we're not super high up. We're only at 102 right now. So we're not going to find a whole lot of iron. But, it's always good to find some ores if we can. I also kind of like the advancement system. It's a lot faster than the Bedrock achievement system. That's probably because of my crappy internet more than anything else. I could be wrong, though, about that. That's probably just Microsoft's fault, lol. But the achievements aren't super important. I do like the advancements, though. It would be kind of nice if they were added. Another difference is you actually can't bone meal flowers, unlike in Bedrock Edition. You can bone meal the ground around, but you can't bone meal the flowers themselves, which kinda sucks, honestly. It's honestly kind of a big loss if you want to make a dye farm. You can still do the same thing you do for, like, 2 tall flowers, but otherwise, yeah, you can't do anything about that, and that's kind of a big loss for people wanting a lot of dye. You can make dyes in farms in Flower Forest, but you can also do the same thing you can do in Java Edition on Bedrock, but instead on Bedrock, you can just kinda make a small little farm that's in anywhere you want, whereas it's a biome based on Java. It's not a huge deal, especially for a late game player, but it still can become a bit of a nuisance at times, I would think. Then again, I've never gone that far in either version, so I never needed that much dye. Oh, that is oh my god, that is a huge cave. Admittedly, it kind of stops at the bottom, but ooh. That is a cool place. It would be a cool place for a base, but also it would be really annoying to work around it. Just because a place is a cool base, yeah. Just because a place is a cool place for a base, it's not exactly a good place always. Like I like Bruce Forest and everything, but like, but they're a good place for a base as well. Whereas huge caves are really cool for a base, but they're also really hard to work around later in the game. At least in the early game. In the later game, you usually have a lot of resources you can build and use, but there's that. I'm gonna just be mining a bunch of wood, honestly. Probably skip most of this, but there's always interesting thoughts I can have sometimes. Oh, and yeah, and for the hunger system, I might get into that in depth a little bit more, but yeah, we can probably go into this shallow cave and get ourselves some coal. Yo, let's go. Gotta love that coal, though. Once we got some new recipes unlocked. Gotta love that. And yes, I know there's this recipe book, but it's generally more inconvenient to use than the Bedrock recipe book. Well, I guess it's not really a recipe book, but it's like just the crafting UI. I mean, it should be more convenient, though, because shouldn't you want to use the recipe book, honestly? Because shouldn't it be a bit more convenient for yourself? Because, like, if I want to go into the recipe book here, which I don't mind this little sidebar here, like, some people mind that, but, like, kind of annoying going through all these different tabs sometimes and, like, looking exactly where it is, because it's kind of unorganized in the search bar. I mean, I can put it on crafting as well, like, show what I can craft, but what I can't craft, and I do have the resources for it, goes right here as well. But it's also, like, every recipe, not just things I have resources for, which is what it happens on Bedrock Edition. It's kind of interesting if you think about it. There's, like, just so many small little differences you'd never think about. Because they're just all there, but it does affect things, obviously. Also, I can probably put these in my offhand, honestly, if I'm being honest. Because, yeah, you can put torches in your offhand. I hope offhand is added soon, but it's not a huge deal breaker for me, honestly. Nice to have it, but it's not a game breaker. So we're going to need to get down in the caves, I believe, soon, because it's going to be slightly safer there, I think. At least in my opinion. Then again, is safety really an opinion? I don't know. I can survive the night fine enough, though, on my own. Just gotta be careful. Let's see if we can find a cave here. And also, I know about local spawn chunks. I don't care too much about spawn chunks, if I'm being honest. And also, I don't know exactly where the spawn chunks are unless I walked 300 blocks away. Which isn't unreasonable on a first night. I've walked thousands of blocks away on a first night. And also, there are more pigs over there as well. Also, you can't run on top of the water, and that's just sad, honestly. I love running on top of the water in Bedrock. I can still swim in the water, though, but it is a tragedy for sure. Also, Trident Drowned are way scarier in Java Edition, because you can't just rush them down. They also look funny here, but that's just because the version differences are funny. Also, yes, I know about the combat changes. I actually like them more in Java Edition than I do in Bedrock Edition. Also, there's probably a water cave right here, unless I'm lucky. It probably is a water cave for sure, but yeah, it is. But we might be able to find something over here. Nope, it just happens to be a crap load of copper. Which, I mean, I have a lot of copper in my main world. There's a crap load of it, actually. Let's just say I probably have, like, around 8 to 9 stacks. No, not that much. I have, like, more than that. Like, 18 stacks or something like that. I just have an absurd amount of it. Oh, and this is a trail ruin, actually, come to think of it. Right in the river. Ooh. I might want to explore this, honestly. This seems like a fun idea. I mean, is this really a good way to spend my time? I mean, on another note, have I ever had a good time to spend my time? The answer is no, I don't need to worry about that. We can continue on. Also, I think re-dyeing wool was just added, like, not even, like, a update ago, I think. A major update, anyways. I guess it was put in a minor update, I think? I don't remember, honestly. It's not that important. Now, this is probably not a good way to spend my time, if I'm being honest, since now it's daytime again. So we can probably go exploring again and look around for actual caves now that we have food. Ooh, there's also some pumpkins there, and a pumpkin patch, which could be useful. We'll probably need an actual house, though, soon as well, if I'm being honest. Because that is a thing we probably should prioritize at one point, but I want to make the house look kinda nice, if I'm being honest. Also, I'm just gonna say this right now, taigas are one of the better biomes to spawn in the beginning of the game if you don't find any structures, because wheat berries can be a pretty good food source, honestly. Also, I'm just gonna break these bushes all down, because I'm not gonna need them. Admittedly, wheat berries should have been more useful, but oh well, they have their one use in pseudo-taming foxes by breeding them and then stealing the child away. Get over here, you foxes. I am going to give you these berries so I can steal your item in your mouth. That's just a piece of leather, but I still want it, because this is early game. Give me that leather. Otherwise, I might have to go to drastic measures. If I'm crouching, they don't notice me, but as soon as I stand up, they do. They also just sleep under trees. Give me your item. Okay, I have to resort to drastic measures. I didn't think I would have to do this. But I think you resorted to your own drastic measures, which I don't think you needed to do that. I guess you were gonna die one way or another, so I'm not gonna complain too much. And also, yeah, I'm just gonna fall straight on down, and I'm gonna collect this Fox's Drop, which I believe they have a 100% drop rate for their items, if I'm correct. Also, we can craft all that leather armor stuff now that we know the recipe. Except that's not actually how it works, because we can craft recipes even if we don't know the crafting recipe for it. Because I don't have that. Yeah, there's a setting for you being able to disable you being able to craft things that you don't know to craft in the game yet. So, like, for example, you have the resources to craft, I don't know, a stick. Let's just say you just picked up a piece of wood and you don't know how to craft wood, but you immediately pick it up so you know how to craft it. You wouldn't be able to craft it with that rule set off, which is so weird. Why would you want that as a rule? I mean, I guess there's like, because like even in like maps like and stuff like that, why would that be useful? Like genuinely, what's the point? I don't get it. Because once you get the stuff to craft the recipes, unless like you can like somehow like limit how you get recipes or something like that, that might be a little bit of a different story. But except for in those extremely niche situations, like, what's the point of it? Well, actually, I can see the point of it in those niche situations where you somehow are able to limit the crafting recipes. But like, I don't know, like it doesn't seem that useful, honestly. It seems more of like an annoyance for like 5 seconds while you don't pick up an item. So I don't know. Also, getting out of here might be a tad easier than I thought, actually, because there's already a way up here anyways. There's like nothing but coal and oh, there is some iron down here. Actually, yo, let's go. Iron is the best resource. Change my mind. And then there's lapis, yo. Alright, so what do we have as garbage? This dirt is garbage. This gravel is pretty much garbage. Also have a little bit of sand, but not enough for anything useful. There's a Zombozo, our first monster that we actually faced that was named a creeper that in the river. Oh, and there is a... Oh, this isn't even deep. Dang, this cave is like the biggest disappointment ever. It's just got copper, iron, and coal. I mean, iron's like nice and everything, but like, the sheer amount of not iron in here is insane, actually. Also, there is actually just a way to walk up here without even placing blocks. Like, dang. This is just an easy cave to get out of, too. Even though it looks like it would be insane. Oh, and there is some iron here. I guess this is slightly less of a disappointment than I thought, honestly. Maybe I should stop underestimating caves like these. Although then again, I think this cave deserves it, honestly, for how little iron it's giving me. I mean, I'm getting, what? 2 plus whatever iron is here, which is, I can just look in my inventory when it's done. Work smarter, not harder. You don't need to use your brain power sometimes. If I can eventually pick this up. And we have 9 iron, which admittedly is not enough iron to do much with. But we can craft that shield that would theoretically trivialize every single mob in the game. Although I'm not going to do that, because that makes the game too easy for myself. Even though I still die way too many times. But maybe that's the point. It's not fun if I just don't die, you know. You gotta have some sort of challenge here and there. Otherwise the game's just not fun anymore. I guess that might be why I quit a lot of the endgame worlds, because there's like no challenge anymore, and it's just like, what do I do now? Because I'm not a huge builder in that aspect, so I get bored. But luckily these snapshots aren't going to be out long enough for that to happen. Although this world's probably going to be around for a while, I would think. Don't know when the update's coming out though, but it's probably coming out in June or July based on Minecraft patterns. So yeah, we need to go find an actually interesting biome that isn't just a forest. Also, if I'm being honest, so like, you know there's spawn chunks, as I probably said before, right? I never really use those because obviously, A, they don't exist in Bedrock, so I'm not used to them, and B, I really don't like being forced to live in a specific spot for where I want to be. Like, if I want to make a base, I want to make a base where I want, and I don't want to be, like, punished for not building at spawn. Because, in reality, I don't care too much about spawn chunks and everything. Because spawn chunks are boring, and they're always loaded. And they're usually just in a crappy biome like a forest. Also, there happens to be more taiga here. Isn't that neat? Also, as you might have noticed already, I mean, this forest probably hides a lot of it, but I do not have a lot of chunks loaded in right now because, as I've said before, Java does not run that well on my computer. Alright, let's make ourselves a bed though, actually, because if I'm being honest... Oh my gosh. There's too many zombies. How did that guy hit me? Maybe he was closer than I thought he was. Also, no, this grass is actually gonna kill me. I can't believe it. It's the endless horde, guys. Okay, so there's that. You know, I can probably just craft this manually, honestly. But yeah, something you cannot do in Bedrock Edition, I don't think yet, is jumping off a cliff with a bow. But you can do it soon, because they just added that as a feature. Actually, I wouldn't have taken any damage on Bedrock Edition either, I think, from falling from that cliff into this water. But you can also fall on blocks as well. But then again, that do be kind of OP. But you can also do that with horses as well, so soon enough, Bedrock is just going to be no fall damage simulator with the power of horses and boats. But yeah, also this is probably going to start lagging a lot, so I might come back whenever it stops lagging, I guess. Or whenever I find something interesting. I still need a good place for a base, though. Why is it only forest biome for thousands of blocks? This seed is garbage. I should not have made this seed whatever it was. Yo, look at that. We found something interesting, except there's a creeper on top of there. Oh. Oh, the creeper's not fast enough to actually start blowing up. Ow, I still took damage, and my boat actually died. Dang. Boats, like, never die on Bedrock Edition, though. They're just, like, too OP. And we don't need any more wool. Oh, that's huge! Oh my god, that's actually huge. It doesn't look huge, but Fortune 3 is massive in the early game. Oh my gosh. So that means basically, once we start growing crops, we're just gonna get a crap load of them for them. Holy. Fortune is the best possible enchantment you can get on a gold pickaxe from these. Like, or maybe even Silk Touch if you need, like, a couple things Silk Touched, but otherwise, yeah, Fortune 3 is massive. Ooh, that's gonna be amazing for growing crops later. If we actually start to grow crops, that is, because I don't have a lot of crops on me. The forest never ends, man. It just never does. The Endless Forest. Maybe that should be the name of the episode, honestly. Because that's all I'm trying to get out of this Endless Forest. And I'm already almost 1,000 blocks from spawn. Yeah, it's just more forest. Are you kidding me? I just wanted not forest. Game, can't you already see I don't want the forest? That's the whole reason I went through this ocean in the first place, dang it. Honestly, I might actually want to build right over here, honestly. This place is probably actually perfect, if I'm being honest. It's kind of flat. It's got a nice little place you can build. If I just... Please don't use my fortune pickaxe. That's not a good idea. It's gonna break really quickly. But, like, this place is, like, kind of perfect. It's got a nice flat area right over here. It's right by a mountain, so we can get some ores and stuff. We'll have some wood over to the side. And it looks like it might be a pretty good place for the experimental survival to start off in. It's also pretty close to a pillager outpost, so we can always use that if we need to. Place a bed right here. Got a respawn point already set. And admittedly, as we could build with spruce planks, we can actually plant them as well, so I don't see any problem with building with it. Just start building a nice little small house. And with the power of editing, I can make this sped up. Although I can't really use any of that fancy editing techniques that you do to make your house look cooler. So I'm just gonna make my house slightly not square, but it's still gonna be mostly square for the most part, because I am no starter house builder. That makes it look incredibly fancy. I'm no builder. Actually, it's not time for the building time-lapse, because if I'm being honest, there's not a lot of space here. Or, like, time, I guess, because I need to make sure I can make this time-lapse look good. I got the outline done, which is probably the most important part. Oh my gosh. Alright, now for the time-lapse. And we are out of wood, unfortunately. So you know what that means? We gotta plant some trees, baby. Oh yeah. Also, where did I lose my 2 stacks of wood? Because I know I had 4 stacks. Is that house really that big? I don't know. Oh well. Not super important anyways. Anyways, just gotta throw this off. Cut down this grass. And plant the tree right here. And if I have a little bit of bone meal, which I don't, because I don't have any bones, we could grow that, but we'll kind of have to wait for that for now. And it looks like the storage room is partially complete. Also, this place is not exactly safe for now, so let's just cut this and put that right there for now, so that way we have a good enough safety net against the monsters outside. Still don't know what I'm going to do for lighting in here, because this is a rather big room right here, but it's looking pretty okay right now. But yeah, I'm going to have to do a couple things before I can actually go into that cave. So it's time for that little grind off camera that everybody knows and loves. If you're wondering what the grind is, by the way, it's called waiting for that tree to grow. Isn't that such an exciting grind? You gotta love it, but also lets me do a couple other things while I'm waiting. So there is that. But yeah, we have the power of the bucket now, so let's go get ourselves some water from down here. Every good home should have a little bit of natural water close-ish to it. It increases the value of it, honestly. In real life, but this is Minecraft. It just is kind of nice to have water. We can get this water source up here. We can get some infinite water. And eventually we can get those sheep up here so we can actually start a sheep farm. Which will be good for food, I guess, if I'm being honest. Alright, here's the skeleton. Oh, it noticed us. Oh my gosh. I usually just use the axe to kill skeletons, I don't know why. You just crit and then you can just hit it with your axe and then it should be good to go. I mean, it works, honestly. And also we got 2 bones, which means we can actually make our tree grow, which is all I really wanted the night for, honestly. I just want this one tree to grow so I can finish my house up. And we get a bunch of podzol, I forgot about that. I don't mind the look of podzol, I think it looks pretty nice. Let the podzol empire spread, I suppose, then. And now we can chop down this beautiful tree. Which I'll probably just cut to the tree being cut down. After I go to sleep, of course. But yeah, look at that. A lot of wood. Don't know what I'm going to do for the roof, though, but I definitely need to get the roof done. Although I'm probably just going to wait for this tree to drop all of its valuable-ish loot. And come to think of it, won't there be like a laze over in that, villager outpost? I could probably go raid it now if I'm careful. Although I probably want to get myself a little bit of armor before I do that. So let's go smelt ourselves some iron. After I go get my coal, of course, because I left it in this chest. I'll just sort my stuff out later with a better sorting system, but for now we don't have that. Let's finish up our storage room completely, though, I guess. I made crafting tables instead of, like, chests. Well, you know what's a better thing to smelt than this? We just need 2 crafting tables and we can smelt this with crafting tables. Heck yeah. Is that a flex? Not really, but it's like smelting logs. But I don't actually need this many crafting tables. I highly doubt I will. I mean, having spares would be nice if I keep, like, forgetting mine, but... oh well. Oh my gosh. I need to make sure not to run too much, because then I might lag and fall off a cliff like that. Although generally Java's pretty responsive for lag. It'll usually lag you back instead of lag you forward. All I really want here is the delays, if I'm being honest. If there are delays here, which I don't think there are. Could be wrong. Oh. Need to get behind cover. There isn't any cover here. Oh no. I made a mistake. Oh, you suck. Oh yeah, I forgot HP regeneration. It doesn't actually suck on Java Edition, so I can actually just rush this thing down with enough food. Although, how did I lose 2 food already? Jeez. Die. There are no allays here, which is kind of a tragedy. Although allays are kind of annoying if I'm being honest at times. Gotta be careful here. There are many dangers, and one of those happens to be pillagers. But I think we took them all out, except for the captain. Nope, we just took them all out. And we got the armor trim. And we did not get the bow wow armor horn, but that's fine-ish. We got this one, which goes... That one's just kind of mid, honestly, but at least we got a goat horn, kind of OP, if I'm being honest. Although you can't really spam it, which is honestly the biggest tragedy in any game ever. Like, not being able to spam this horn is just... It just makes the game way, like, 500 times worse, and it could be 500 times better if you could spam it, but you can't. Ayo, I'm trying to chat with my audience here. Get out of my way. As I was saying, it is the biggest tragedy in the entire game. Besides this pillager trying to interrupt us. I mean, that's an even bigger tragedy, honestly. And that means all we need to do is just have a victory enchanting bottle on our head. We already have 12 levels, actually. I surprisingly haven't died yet. I normally would have died by now, but I guess I was playing smart and not stupid this time. So we can finish up the house. It's time for the second time-lapse. Now what to do for the roof? Do I want a, like, short style roof, or do I want a, like, taller, more elegant roof? I think I'll go for the taller, more elegant roof. So it's time to craft ourselves some beautiful stairs that are still expensive as heck, because there's no such thing as a woodcutter. I mean, after a couple extra places of blocks. Does that look fine? That does not look great, actually. Alright, maybe I should actually cut this down over here. Also, I don't have a lot of stairs, but let's ignore that. Gotta think when you're building these kind of things, because I actually don't remember how roofs would normally go like this. So, continue building, and cutting down that tree for that matter. Let's get that chat back in here, because I think watching a long time-lapse for a long time isn't going to be super interesting after a while. So, welcome back to commentating Xpsupernova, baby. But anyways, all things aside, yo, we got the classic Minecraft music in the house this time. But also, making sure we can actually make this look kinda nice, cause I'm trying to make the intersection look okay. Does this look fine? Oh. F5. Yeah, this will look fine right here, so we just gotta make sure it intersects all fine and dandy. Can I reach that? No, I can't. We'll make another bunch of stairs, because I know I'll need them. Break the crafting table, grab the spruce stairs, and make sure this looks a-okay. I am Minecrafting. Oh my gosh. I placed that on the wrong block, that's insane. This might be the end of the run, guys. I placed that one block in the wrong spot. Okay. Okay, so here's the hard part, actually making this line up properly so it looks nice. Yo, let's go. Actually, this looks beautiful now. Who knew that just doing some simple solution would make this look the best? Let's go. Also, there's gonna be an attic in this house, can you believe it? So this house is gonna feel like a real house soon enough. I mean, it already kind of is. I mean, looks a little funky right here for the 4 wide and then it goes into 1, but doesn't look too bad, honestly. Water bucket clutch every time. We always do it in 3rd person. 'Cause why not? Alrighty, so I'm gonna place a torch right there. Torch. Torch and a torch. Still pretty dark actually. But I mean I feel like it's being kinda dimly lit kinda fits it, honestly. Ooh, look at that. The house is looking good. It doesn't have a flooring yet still, but that flooring is going to be done last. But we actually have an attic in this house that's actually really useful because it is going to be another storage area that we can use. It'll be like the huge storage area where we can store a bunch of stuff, making this house last a lot longer in this small state than it actually should, but I mean, who doesn't love that, honestly? Making your starter house last longer by just adding an attic. Tips with Xpsupernova. And also, oh my gosh, please place the slab properly, me. Dang it. But also, it actually lines up though that we have no slabs left at all. Yo! Now this house is actually perfect, almost. Minus the flooring. Ignore the flooring. But the flooring, we're just gonna make it spruce planks for the time being. Might replace it with something else later, but for now, it is the perfect house. Let's get inside and sleep before the creepers spawn. And it's almost done. Woo, look at that. This house is rather big for a starter house, but I kinda love it. It still doesn't have windows though, which we definitely need some windows on this thing, which will truly finish this out and make it the house. But all we gotta do is just chop down this one last tree, grab ourselves a little bit of sand by that beach over there, and the house should be finished. We haven't even gone mining yet, though. And every good Minecraft survival world needs good old-fashioned mining, I do believe. And voila. Look at that, the house is completed. Woo, let's go. And right here, we just got the beautiful stuff right here. We got the support beam right there, well, that would exist there anyways. Can remove it if we want to, but I don't think we need to. We got our furnace, we got our bed, we got the storage room, which will expand and have places up here as well. And outside, we gotta work on that as well too, I suppose. So we just gotta do this, cut that in half. We only have 2 sticks here for some reason, so we need more. So let's go get more sticks that happen to be left in here. And it should look pretty good in the end for at least our little mini farm, which will finish off the house aesthetically at least. So, if I'm being correct right here, there would probably be like a nice little window, probably 4 wide right here. Just for like a good view. meaning that if I need to, I can actually make myself a torch and a torch right there. That looks pretty good, actually. So let's go get that sand that we do need for this. Don't worry, I didn't forget about the farm. I'm not going to work on it quite at this very second. And it should be the perfect final window, and this house should be truly complete for now. Minus, I guess, like, adding some more chests, I suppose, but we don't need more at the moment. And that is a finished house, actually. How beautiful. And now the house is nicely lit up, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this entire empty space right here. Maybe it'll just remain empty, honestly. Or maybe I'll just shove more chests into there. And that's done. And yes, this is on the left on purpose for reasons, because if I put it like right in the middle, I would just walk on water a bunch of times. But this already feels like our own little mini spruce biome, honestly. It feels like we just brought the spruce biome with us, honestly. Which is kind of ironic, since we tried to avoid, like, going into the, what's it called? The forest the entire time, but we brought the forest with us, so in the end, you can never truly escape the forest. It will always follow you, forever. Alright, watch this. We got 26 carrots off of just 4. It's insane. And we have some leftover carrots after that, so these carrots are definitely going to be able to supply us with some emergency food if we need it. I told you guys, Fortune's OP. It really is, like, especially in the early game, if you're just going for crops and not really going after villagers. Which I'm actually not going to be using villagers almost at all in this run, just saying. Because I don't really feel like it, honestly. I don't want to make this too eventful, because I don't need to show all the recording. This is kind of a Let's Play-y style thing, so we don't get huge amounts of progress done each episode. Because that kind of ruins the point of this. It is experimental snapshots, mind you, but it's still supposed to feel kind of classic in a way. Like old mixed in with the new, if that makes sense. And time to get ourselves some beautiful stone, because we were running low. Stone bricks look really good with spruce, though, in my opinion. Might make a better flooring later on, but it's a wood shack. It's not meant to be wood plus stone, even though stone is pretty easy to get as well. And this is where the cave opens up. And it looks like it goes deeper over there. Oh! Oh, I died. Can't really avoid that creeper there. I didn't have a shield, which I probably should have crafted, but whatever. There's the first death, and now I can definitively say I have died in this world. This is why I don't do hardcore, everybody, because I would just die too quickly. And I missed some iron up there as well. Also, I think half of my stuff fell off the cliff, if I'm correct. No, actually, like, barely any of it, actually, surprisingly did. And I remember I don't have a lot of resources on me, so that's what I do. I don't bring a lot with me when I'm down here. Get our hotbar reorganized. Load this crossbow in case we need to snipe something. And put food here, along with this crafting table. Alright, everything's resorted now. And I think I got everything that I had. Unless something fell down here, which surprisingly nothing did. That's always nice. See, I'm not even bothered by this death, honestly, because I was so close to home. I'm just looking around. Don't know where that creeper came from, though, but they just come out of nowhere and kill you pretty quickly. I'm not doing shields in this world either, since they completely trivialize combat, at least in my opinion. Oh, my sword and my axe was down here as well. Also, I didn't go after that iron I mentioned up there, which I probably should, actually, since we don't have a lot of resources at the moment. So let's go get that beautiful iron up there again. Time to speed run. For real this time, we're speed running grabbing that iron. It's the world's most insane speed run, honestly. It's so insane, in fact, no speedrunner has ever even tried it before, trying to get this specific iron. Because it's very unlikely that someone has even seen it, let alone tried to speedrun getting this iron. And look it, we're getting a world record, everybody, let's go! I've only had a world record in my own pickle percent category, but that doesn't really count too much, does it? Which I'm actually surprised it's actually had as many world records as it has, which it's had 3 world records so far. And if you want your own, you could even try it yourself, honestly. But this isn't a self-promotion of my own category I made. I don't really care too much if people do that or not. Kind of its own little thing. And that's really it, honestly. And I feel like we got a good haul. We can go back down there later if we need to get more iron. It really doesn't matter too much. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like or maybe even subscribing, as that helps out the channel quite a bit. And honestly, I always enjoy when people leave me comments as well. So if you want to leave a comment, feel free to leave one down below. I always read them if I can. As long as there's not too many comments, which so far there haven't been, honestly. But with that all said and out of the way, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye!